The Story Vault presents Gladiator's Creed, Episode 6, Ambush in the Shadows. The barracks are quiet, bathed in dim moonlight, with most of the gladiators resting after an intense day of training. Cassia, known for her resilience, has finally allowed herself a rare moment of rest. Alone in her cell, she is unaware of the danger lurking just outside. Decimus waits in the shadows, his mind fixed on revenge. His humiliation from losing to Cassia in the public sparring match fuels his anger, and he's determined to make her pay. Silently, he enters her cell, watching her sleeping form with a cruel smirk. Decimus moves stealthily, his intentions clear. Without warning, he strikes Cassia from behind, a swift, brutal blow that knocks her unconscious. She collapses onto the stone floor, defenseless and vulnerable. Decimus watches her, a twisted sense of satisfaction crossing his face. He approaches her, leaning in closer, as if relishing her helplessness. His hand hovers over her and he mutters with a sneer, "Not so tough now, are you?" At that moment, a faint noise echoes from down the hall. Decimus freezes, realizing he's no longer alone. He retreats quickly, slipping into the shadows just as Tiberius and a few other gladiators arrive. Tiberius pauses at the entrance, his face paling as he takes in the scene. Cassia lies motionless on the floor, and for a moment he hesitates. His previous loss to Cassia in the sparring match flashes through his mind, stirring a mix of resentment and shame. But as he looks at her, another feeling rises, a protective instinct that overpowers his pride. Pushing aside his own fears, Tiberius rushes to her side, kneeling beside her. His hand hovers over her shoulder, steadying himself as he takes a breath. He lifts her gently, his touch protective as he cradles her, his earlier resentment replaced by a fierce determination. The other gladiators gather, a few casting wary glances, but seeing Tiberius's resolve, they rally around him, forming a silent circle of protection. Cassia stirs, her eyes opening to see her friends gathered around her, with Tiberius closest. She's disoriented, but the presence of her allies reassures her. She meets Tiberius's gaze, seeing a depth in his eyes that wasn't there before. They exchange looks of solidarity, unspoken promises of loyalty filling the silent space. Tiberius stands taller, his loyalty to Cassia solidified in that moment. The incident, meant to expose her vulnerability, has instead strengthened the bonds of trust among her allies. As they walk back together, Tiberius lingers at her side, his voice steady with a newfound conviction. "Tiberius, you're not alone, Cassia. We're all here for you." She gives him a faint smile, grateful for his support, as they walk away from the shadows, unified in their purpose. In Ambush in the Shadows, Cassia's vulnerability is a reminder of the risks she faces every day, but it also forges an unbreakable bond with her allies. Tiberius's loyalty and the collective protection of her friends offer Cassia a foundation of trust, preparing her for the trials to come. As Cassia faces betrayal and finds strength in her allies, her journey through Gladiator's Creed grows even more intense. If you're captivated by the loyalty, tension, and resilience of these gladiators, don't forget to hit that like button to show your support for Cassia and her allies. Subscribe to stay on the battlefield with us. Each episode brings new twists, fierce rivalries, and powerful friendships. Don't miss a moment of the action and join the community as we cheer Cassia on in her rise to greatness.